Welcome back to our Q&A series. This is our very last video in this very first series with our favorite RVers. I'm so sad.
Yeah, this is a sad day indeed.
We have really enjoyed these videos and talking with everyone to produce these videos. It was a lot of fun, and I am looking forward to the next series. The questions are made. Next is just me pinning people down and asking the questions.
Yeah, the feedback that we got from this series was incredible. Some of the comments that we got, some of the answers, it elicited more questions, so it was a really good series to have.
Yeah, we've had a lot of fun. So be prepared. Series 2 will be coming. I just can't give you an answer as to what that date will be, but it is in the works. Yeah, I don't know either. So as soon as we can get it all packaged up, it will be out. So that being said, the question for today is...
I've got it now. How do you plan or book your reservations?
As far as planning our routes, we're planners for sure.
Yes. My anxiety would not let us wing it.
And with a 44-foot fifth wheel being towed by a 22-foot truck, it's 60-foot a rig, and it's not something you just want to willy-nilly drive around and look for a cool place to park. I know a lot of people use Walmarts and rest areas and things like that. And rest areas we would probably be fine in, but I don't think I'd want to try 60-foot a rig in a Walmart. We plan about 3 to 6 months out.
Yeah, just depending on, I mean, we're booked up. It's September now, and we're pretty solid through the end of the year. Now, 2019, we're behind schedule.
Yeah, we go in spurts. We'll say, hey, let's sit down, let's plan. We'll plan a route. We'll look at campsites. We'll book reservations. We try to fill in all the gaps, including travel days. If we know we're going to have a 2-day travel window, we don't just say, hey, we're going to drive until we get tired and find a place. We have a place booked ahead of time, so we're definitely planners.
Yeah, and that's worked well for us so far. So, I think that we'll just keep doing that because I like to know where we're going and not have the feeling of, oh no, where do we go next?
Yeah.
As far as planning goes, at first we planned like up the first while, and we did work camping immediately the first 2 months on the road because we felt like we'd put the RV in one spot, have full hookups, and get used to just living in it and not moving it a bunch. So we definitely planned that out more than a year in advance. But but other than that, we don't plan too much. I mean, for example, yesterday I made our plans for tonight and tomorrow night.
Right, so. But we have Boondockers Welcome. We also have Thousand Trails, so we have an idea of places that we can look into going. But yes, we definitely will plan at least. We were doing about 2 weeks in advance if we could, but at least a week in advance. Now that we have this new RV, we probably won't be planning as much because we're more flexible.
Right, and we're trying to learn to not plan because before we planned quite a bit out. So that's one of the things that we're excited about with the new RV is to not plan as much and to be more spontaneous. So that's what we're trying to do now. So we're trying that out.
For the big events, we try to book more ahead of time. For example, like Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta, that does sell out. There are other events that we wanted to go, but then the tickets sold out. But in the end, we were able to get tickets by buying from someone else. So plans change, people cancel. So for those we try to do ahead of time. But so far, in the last 5 months, because I think we traveled more off season, the campgrounds doesn't get booked up. So we kind of maybe sometimes we'll call day ahead, but otherwise it has been fine. Maybe in summer we'll try to book more ahead of time, but so far...
We've been pretty lucky, I think, so far. Given we're a smaller rig, there's a lot more options available to us. We can get into that small site at the campground that maybe the bigger rigs can't get into. We can get into boondocking spots that are maybe not quite as level or they're slightly more difficult to get into. So we try and be a little bit, like you said, a bit more last minute and leave things late. But we always have a backup plan. Yeah. We always have if we can't get into that spot, there's these other few that we can try, or there's an RV park down the road that should be okay. And so far, I think we've been pretty lucky, but it's worked out okay.
I try to book ahead of time because I've been finding that the places that I want to go are the popular ones, so it's always like booked. So I like to plan ahead in that sense. I haven't really tried boondocking. I did once, Dome Rock, and that was kind of nice to be able to just pull in there and park it and, We
are winging it.
No, we're not. No, we're not. Since October 15th, I've highlighted in the calendar of where we're going to be and what we're going to do. Highlighted in more of what we're going to be, what we're going to do. And pretty much it's done all the way through the end of January. We've got something planned for all that. And now our new friends that we've met, we're going to meet up with them February, and we'll be doing that too to the middle of February.
But we're winging it. We're not.
That's not a wing.
We have no reservations past January 31st.
We book anchor spots and then kind of fly by the seat of our pants past that. So like if we'll spend a month in Montana, we'll usually have a spot picked out for that month, and we'll have reservations, and then we kind of move around from there.
Our travels are mostly to Yellowstone and Tetons. We have the favorite campgrounds there. One of the commercial campground, we're booked for years, I guess. Also out in that area, we try to get into some of the ones that there's no reservations taken. So far, we've been destination camping, either Yellowstone or here where we're at. We're here visiting our daughter. We haven't done a tremendous amount of going from site to site. Just traveling. That's one thing we've talked about in the last couple of days is next year we've got to do more of that. We've got to go see different areas of the country.
I do all of the planning because I am very much a planner. I like to know in advance where I'm going, and even just mapping things out. I want to know that we're not going to California, then Arizona, then back to California. I want it to kind of make sense and conserve a little on gas. So I actually make our reservations well in advance. Right now it is October, and I have reservations through the middle of March.
We like to book far out. I think when you have a larger coach, you have to book far out. But
depends on the
it
time of
depends
year.
on the time of year.
Yeah.
If it's a Thanksgiving, Christmas, you're in Florida in the spring, you're going to have to book out if you want to get any kind of a site.
Yeah.
But I am getting Julie more and more used to the serendipity lifestyle of where are you going to go next.
I'm a planner.
She's a planner, and I kind of like to just wing it.
So the RV style that we have done so far in the 2 months is fairly well booking it out, because we had some plans initially that needed to be booked out. We certainly had this Nomad Fest booked out quite ahead of time, and then we had some family reunions and some places that we knew we needed to be, so we went ahead and booked them out. Right now we have reservations out for about the next 3 weeks, I'd say. After that, we're kind of fluid. We're not sure where we're going to be. I'd like to get less and less planned out. So I'm in the process of being a recovering planner. So we'll see how that goes.
And we also, like tonight, we don't have anything planned. We're staying at a Flying J, and we've already stayed at a Flying J once, and we've stayed at a
highway rest stop, visitor center.
Yeah. So.
We have been winging it. We usually pick it as we're driving. We pick where direction we're going, and then while he's driving, I get my iPad out and I start calling and checking places to stay. And so far, it's worked out for us, except for the trip here.
To a degree. I'm of two minds. I like doing that. I love doing that. But it's difficult driving a rig when you're not sure where you're going. Like I said, you need to kind of have a route planned and need to know where you're going safely. And that part is a little bit too exciting for me. But
yeah. And then on this trip, we found that we're going to stay at a casino for free, and the spots were filled before we got there. So we were going to go stay in another place that was $20 a night, and we were taking a chance they'd have spots, and they did. And
on the side of a hill.
Yeah, but it was dark, and it wasn't a good plan that time.
Well,
but
one side was a hill, the other side was a river.
Yeah. But we'll do both. So if it's a busy time of year, we'll plan. If not, then we'll probably still wing it a little bit.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to wing it.
Yeah.
we were just talking about how far out we booked because we started out. We had the first 2 months or so, month or 2 months.
We had everything planned.
Perfectly planned out, to the minute, to the mile. Every park that we were going to stay at, even had the Walmarts that we were going to stay at. It all went out the window 2 days into the trip.
Because
it didn't work for us that way.
Well, it's just you got to realize with this lifestyle, things happen. Weather,
breakdown,
tire blowout, whatever. You have to be very flexible and in your scheduling and traveling, and that's the beauty of this lifestyle, is that you can be flexible. And for us, we have learned the hard way with that, and we're finding out it's better to go with the flow.
That was one of the hardest things for me just recently, was letting go of that, because I've always been a planner. It's kind of better because it allows us to, along the way, when we run across things that we want to do that we didn't know about, we can do them and we can change our plans up.
All right, Phil, so tell us, how do you book?
Through Stacy.
Is there a 1-800 number for that?
Stacy is the planner. She plans all of our stays, where we're going. She gets very little input from me. I give her...
That means I get very little help from him, is really what he's saying. Booking is really, I'm on the fence with it. When we first started out, I had everything booked for the first 3 months, where we were going, where we were staying, what we were doing when we got there. And then we, started going to places and wanted to stay a little longer, or we met people and wanted to change our routes. And I started losing money. So canceling reservations is not always fun, because you never know how much you're going to get back depending on if it's private or state or whatever. So then from there, I went to winging it. And when I say wing it, maybe booking out a week or so.
Yeah.
If that. And at times, us deciding the night before, hey, let's go surprise our friends. And now I'm back again to where I'm all nervous again, because we're planning to winter in Florida this year. And everybody keeps telling me, if you don't have reservations, you're going to be screwed. And then we're also going to the Northeast, and everyone keeps telling me, if you don't have reservations, you're screwed. So I'm really nervous. So I have been slowly making some reservations for both. But as Al and Angie have shown us, that even some of the popular places, if you wait and just show up, people book a year, 6 months in advance just to hold it, and then end up canceling and not using it. And that's how they are managing to get in the door at last minute. So, there are those options.
Yeah, I'm not a wing it kind of guy, though. After driving all day, I want to know that we have a place to stop. I don't want to have to get somewhere and continue to look for something or hope and pray that we're going to get in.
Well, I wouldn't do it the same day. I would have a heart attack. We would have to at least know where we're going the night before, and I would have to book something at least the night before. But that is kind of winging it.
Even if we're stopping at a rest stop, a Flying J, or a Walmart, as long as I know that's where we're going. And we have a spot to stay, and we're at the end of the drive day, I'm done. I want to just park, relax, get something to eat, and then plan for the next day.
Yeah. And the bonus is, we don't necessarily have to have something booked every single night, because there is Boondockers Welcome and Harvest Hosts, and we've loved Harvest Hosts, and there are a ton of them up in the Northeast that we're already planning on staying at, and a few down in Florida as well. So we will take advantage of those and use those, throughout our travel. So that is an option.
So the beauty of staying at a Harvest Host is normally it's a one night an overnight, and then move on the next day. But if they don't have anybody there, or they have limited booking, you might be able to stay an extra night. So that takes kind of the guesswork out, if you are one of those wing it kind of guys.
So I think as you get out there, your booking style might change with time and ebb and flow on the seasons.
Is
it peak time? Is it not peak time? Because that's going to play a big part. And there is one thing that we have done that might help with that, and that's, I think somebody else might have mentioned it, and that's make waypoints. So for us, we're traveling to the Northeast. We have 3 definite spots, and those are all with family, and then we're going to fill in the gaps in between. So we know we have spots there where we're going, and worst comes to worst, we sleep at a Walmart, a rest stop, who knows, but it'll be fine.
Doesn't matter.
I'm not scared.
I have my house. I can sleep wherever.
That's right. I'm not scared.
Yeah.
All right. So I hope you had a little bit of information watching this video as far as booking. And as you can see, there's no right or wrong way. It's whatever works for you.
Yeah. And if you have a particular way that works for you that you'd like us to share with everyone, post in the comments below. We'd love to share.
That's right. And we love hearing from you guys and how you guys are doing it, because there's not one way to RV. There's 100 different ways, and we all do it our own way, and it all works for us.
Yeah, absolutely. So keep the comments coming. We love them. And all the readers love reading all the comments too.
Yeah.
That's a popular comment that we get. The information that's being shared amongst everybody is outstanding.
Yep. All right. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Make sure you hit that subscribe button.
Give us a thumbs up and hit the notification bell, please.
And we will see you on the road.
Go.
I'm so sad.
Say it ain't so.
All right, let's start
Why
over.
would you look at me like that when I said that?
I didn't know what you were going to say. All right, ready?
I didn't either.
Say it ain't so.
I'm a little bit of a I should start over because I can't even keep the straight face saying a little bit.
And I don't really know what to say now.
Oh, shoes on the other foot.
Welcome back to our
Hold
Q&A.
on, I was looking up.
The video camera's
I know,
right there.
but I didn't know what that was.
It's a bird.
I'm just going to spring it on you now. You see, now you're waiting for it.
I was waiting for
I
it.
gotcha.
But we're winging it right now because we
No,
we
we're
weren't.
not winging it, no.
I think we are.
No, I don't think we are. I think you're no.
Again, you don't know the question. You
I know
just
the question.
watched the video.
I know the question. I don't like green acres. You do that.
Really?
No.
Green acres. Initially, when we first left.
Squirrel.
Sorry, the squirrels are everywhere. They're totally
Squirrel.
distracting me.
I know. I was like 3 there, 1 there. This one came up like he was like, "What are you doing?"
I know. Okay, let me start over.
Okay.